My biggest fear in life is that we already been too far of destroying our planet. Destroying this beautiful planet that we share with so much innocent, beautiful, shy, cute, important, smart, sentient creatures. That we have already destroyed our planet, and that there is no way back in reversing even the little bits. That we will destroy our planet in less than 22 years. 30 years. 30 years. In the year 2049, according to this one, we can then have dead oceans. As Paul Watson have said, if the seas die, we all will die.
It's in a state of collapse. According to the UN, all commercial fishing will be extinct by 2040, I think 2025 myself. We're wiping them out. And what we don't understand is what that's going to mean for the planet as a whole. If the fish disappear, the whales disappear, the oceans die, we die. We can't live on this planet with a dead ocean. And I don't think, the fish is far more valuable as a living creature in the ocean. To us, it's far more valuable for our survival than on our plate. But people don't seem to understand that. We don't treat land animals the way we treat fish. A cheetah is the same thing as a bluefin. Bluefin's the fastest fish in the ocean, a warm-blooded fish, an incredible creature. But we're just wiping them out by the hundreds of thousands. And we would never tolerate with any land animal that kind of thing. Somebody in, say, the Congo goes out and kills a mountain gorilla or a giraffe or a lion, and they eat it. And we call it bushmeat, and we look down on that. I mean, how repulsive is that? And yet, what we're engaged in is aquatic bushmeat. There's no difference between a bluefin tuna and a lion. You know, they're both large predators. And then the other problem is 40% of all the fish that is being taken out of the ocean is being fed to animals, livestock. The pig is now one of the largest aquatic predators on the planet, eating more fish than sharks. The domestic house cat is eating more fish than all the world's seals combined. The house cat is a major aquatic predator. In fact, if a house cat ever came face to face with a real yellowfin or bluefin tuna, the tuna would eat it. So it's hardly a natural prey for the cat. And so we're just pulling it out. And now we're drag trawling for plankton. Norway and Japan are involved in this. Hundreds of thousands of tons of plankton being brought in to be converted into a protein product for feeding livestock.
So, because sea is responsible for at least 70% of all the oceans on Earth. Yes, the forest are also very important, but that is also something that stay in the same circle. You can fight to stop the degradation of this as both. People have to stop then consuming animal products, because animal products are the reason that the diversity of life in the sea die, because worldwide something like 500,000 megaton of shit, of manure, is produced by all the livestock on this planet. This is a conservative estimate. Because the numbers can be higher. That create more than 500,000, already create more than 500 hypothermic zones, ocean dead zones in the world where not longer life possible is because of extreme pollution. that have also led to the diminishing of phytoplankton, tiny marine animals that live on the soil on the hyperopic zone of the sea. The highest hyperopic zone of the sea, that's the highest part of the sea, the layer. And also, of course, the diminishing of many species is because of fishing. There is not such thing as sustainable fishing this day time. Particular with more than 7.5 billion homini on this planet that call themselves so euphemistically humans. Just like slave masters called themselves humans, and black people not. In that time and age. More than 80% of the seas are overfished.
In their 2012 State of the World Fisheries and Aquaculture report, the FAO found that 87.3% of fish stocks were fully exploited or overexploited. However, comparing this figure to the reports before and after is no easy feat. Between their 2010 and 2012 reports, the FAO had reduced its level of exploitation terminology from 6 to 3 categories. Now, in the most recent report from 2014, they've further clouded the issue, replacing exploited with fished, and introducing 2 vague categories termed sustainable and unsustainable levels. This terminology has the dual effect of both making the situation sound less dire and making the comparison between reports unnecessarily difficult. But when you pick through the data and unravel the terminology, the upward trend of fish stock depletion becomes clear. The bottom line is that as of the most current report from 2014 using 2011 data, less than 10% of our world's fisheries remain unexploited. All of the industrial fishing methods used around the world come with the high cost of bycatch. One study analyzed bycatch solely from pelagic longline fishing in the Pacific Ocean. Longlining is a method which uses a main fishing line up to 100 kilometers in length, with secondary lines branching off of it, each set with hundreds of thousands of barbed, baited hooks. The study found that 4.4 million non-targeted...
That means that there are so much fish taken out of the sea that the sea nearly or not can sustain themselves. There have to come a ban on fishing in general. Humans don't need fish to survive. The ocean needs fish to survive. There needs a large diversity of different marine species that work interdependent with each other and create a large, very complex ecosystem, habitat, with sharks, with whales, and with many other animals.
That 4.4 million non-targeted marine animals are killed as bycatch due to pelagic longline fishing in the Pacific Ocean every year, including on average 3.3 million sharks, 1 million marlins, 59,000 sea turtles, close to 77,000 albatrosses, and almost 20,000 dolphins and whales. Trawling, the primary method used for shrimp, is often referred to as the ocean equivalent of clear-cutting rainforest, with 80 to 98% of unintended catches being thrown back into the sea, dead. It's estimated that 650,000 marine mammals, including whales, dolphins, and seals, are killed or seriously injured every year by commercial fisheries outside the United States.
On this moment, humans seems to go for the big fish first and then go to the bottom of the food the life system of the sea. I won't say food system, but it is technically a life support system, so I want not to use the euphemisms of the fish industry. We are not even capable of fully understanding the large complexity of the sea's ecosystem. But the dipshit and the morons of the fish industry think it's okay that we kill so much fish in a year. More than an estimated, or this an estimated static 2.8 trillion fish on the planet any year. That's something like 150 million ton of fish. A general estimate of the diversity of this fish they try to catch. And also, we don't know completely anything because Japanese are more than 89 or something like that. It's even larger. So, humans.
Almost every foreign fish product sold in the United States enters the U.S. market in violation of federal law, namely the Marine Mammal Protection Act, which has remained pitifully unenforced for over 40 years. With 90% of all seafood consumed in the United States coming from foreign sources, this means that the American seafood industry has a large hand in devastating marine mammal populations while grossly violating its own federal law.
Why protecting your stupid traditions, beliefs and habits? Humans don't need animal products to survive, and also the rainforest is also cut for at least 89% of all the deforestation is because of livestock. America can on this planet can even feed the whole planet. According to the U.S. American Organization of Agriculture and Technology, they can feed 10 billion humans. We're only 7.5 on this planet. So do the math. Look how much land we can give back to the animals. And how much people not have to die. There is a win-win in any situation. If you give about animals, if you give about the environment. But people are so stubborn and so full of hate and so full of vengeance against the animals and the planet. That's my greatest fear. Awaken, I say. Justice for all, not for some. Taking is not righteousness. If you take their land, that's not righteousness because you want to. Believe that. Say that to all the Indians, how their land be stolen by the whites. And make sick by them, by their vicious traditions, their bad habits, like smoking, like
livestock operations on land has caused or created more than 500 nitrogen-flooded dead zones around the world in our oceans, comprise more than 95,000 square miles of areas completely devoid of life. So any meaningful discussion about the state of our oceans has to always begin by frank discussions about land-based animal agriculture, which is not what our conservation groups, Oceana being the largest one in the world right now, the most influential, as well as others, that's not what is at the apex of their discussions.